Welcome to the HFY Tales channel. Remember to like and subscribe if you like the story. Enjoy and take care.
The rain hammered down on the windshield like 1,000 frantic drummers, each droplet a reminder of the tempest raging outside. As I navigated the winding road through the woods, my truck's headlights sliced through the inky darkness, illuminating flashes of lightning that momentarily lit up the storm. The thunder that followed echoed in my chest, a reminder of the chaos that seemed to surround me both outside and within. This remote stretch of road was a familiar escape for me, Adrian, a refuge from the world and its painful reminders. The solitude suited me. I preferred the company of trees and rain to the multitude of voices from my past that haunted me. The flickering memories of laughter, love, and loss that once filled my life now seemed overshadowed by an overwhelming emptiness. Just as I turned a curve, something caught my eye. A glow, unnatural in this fierce storm, hovered at the edge of the road. My instincts kicked in, and I swerved, barely avoiding a collision. But as I regained control, I glanced back to see the figure stepping hesitantly into the beam of my headlights. It was a woman, a strange and beautiful alien creature. Her skin shimmered like oil on water, hues of purple and green swirling with each movement. An impossible mixture of fragility and strength radiated from her aura. I felt a shiver, not from fear, but from an inexplicable connection. As I pulled over to the side of the road, confusion mingled with concern. "Are you all right?" I shouted over the wind, my voice barely cutting through the noise of the storm. "Please, I need shelter," she implored, her voice melodic yet foreign, laced with an urgency I couldn't ignore. "I'm Dia." Without thinking twice, I nodded, and Dia scrambled into the passenger seat. Her vibrant eyes darted around my truck as if processing the material world she had so suddenly entered. I could hardly focus on driving. It was like having the sun next to me in the depths of night. The storm worsened, wind howling like banshees intent on breaking down my cabin door. I was grateful for the sturdiness of my truck and the familiarity of the path ahead. "Where do you live?" I asked, trying to sound casual. "Not far," she replied, her lips curling into a semblance of a smile. "But you needn't worry about that now. Just drive." There was an undeniable intensity in her gaze, a fervor that manifested in the air between us. My heart raced not just from the adrenaline of the storm, but from the sensation of being drawn closer to this alien being, this enigma that had shattered my calm night. After what felt like an eternity, I pulled up to my cabin, the faintest light flickering from within. Shrouded in a verdant embrace of towering trees, it felt like a sanctuary against the fury of nature outside. I turned to her. "We'll be safe here." Dia's eyes sparkled as she stepped out of the truck, and the storm broke around us, as if nature understood that something extraordinary was about to transpire. Little did I know, my life was about to intertwine with hers in ways I couldn't fathom, forged by a storm that had brought us together, for better or worse. As we stepped inside the cabin, a wave of warmth enveloped us, a stark contrast to the storm's fury outside. The faint glow of the fire flickered in the hearth, casting dancing shadows on the walls, and the scent of cedar wood filled the air. I couldn't shake the feeling that Dia belonged to another world, one that thrived amongst the stars. And yet here she was, seeking shelter in my humble abode. "Make yourself comfortable," I said, feeling a bit awkward. Furniture from my past sat scattered throughout the room, pieces I collected over the years, but hardly used. I found a couple of towels to offer her, unsure of how to handle this extraordinary situation. Dia examined the towels with a perplexed expression, running her fingers across the terry cloth as if it were an alien object itself. "Thank you, Adrian. I'm not used to this," she hesitated, searching for the right word. "Fabrics. Right, alien? I keep forgetting." I chuckled, attempting to break the tension. But my heart raced at the thought of how far apart our worlds truly were. "What are you? Where do you come from?" Her gaze shifted away, past the fire, as if considering the depths of her explanation. "I come from a planet, a distant star system, far beyond the ones you can see with your naked eye. I was on a mission, gathering information about your world." I squinted, absorbing her words. "A mission? What kind of information?" A cultural study, she explained, her eyes brightening at the thought of sharing, to understand human emotions, relationships, life. But the storm, her voice softened, tinged with concern. It disrupted my plans. In that moment, I felt a pull. My curiosity piqued not just about her world, but about the emotions she spoke of. And what have you learned about us so far? Dia smiled, the warmth of it igniting something within me. Your resilience is impressive. Even in the face of a storm, you navigate through it. But there's more complexity. Your emotions are tangled like vines. Love, loss, fear. She paused, searching my expression for understanding. I guess that's true, I replied, lowering my gaze as memories bubbled to the surface. But it's also messy and complicated. We shared a moment of silence, the crackle of the fire, the only sound filling the space between us. Then, as if sensing the weight of my thoughts, Dia stepped closer. What happened to you, Adrian? Her straightforwardness caught me off guard. It was rare for me to open up, yet her presence felt different, almost magical in a way. I hesitated, weighing my words before speaking. I lost someone close to me, a friend in an accident. I shut myself away after that. Solitude became my shield. That sounds painful, she said softly, her voice carrying empathy. But you're here now, sharing this space with me. Her sincerity ignited a flicker of hope inside me, something I thought I'd lost forever. Yeah, well, I shrugged, but a small smile crept onto my face. I guess the storm kind of threw us together. Together, she echoed, her gaze locked onto mine, and the air between us thickened with unsaid possibilities. Suddenly, the wind howled even louder outside, rattling the windows as if urging us back to reality. I glanced back at the hearth and stoked the flames, attempting to dispel the lingering tension that hung in the room. So, let's get some hot drinks. I brewed coffee, a simple comfort, while Dia watched curiously, her eyes wide with fascination. With each moment spent together, I felt her presence sinking into me, filling the spaces I had guarded for so long. Is that your custom? She asked, gesturing toward the steaming mug in my hand as I handed one to her. To drink warm liquids when it's cold? Pretty much, I chuckled. It's one of the easiest ways to stay warm and feel safe. As we sipped our drinks, I began to wonder if safety could extend beyond the tangible and into the emotional realm. Until now, I'd never imagined a connection outside my isolated life. Yet here she was, challenging my perspective. What about you? I asked, wanting to learn more about this captivating being. What do you do for warmth? Her smile widened, and she leaned in closer. In my world, we share energy, a form of warmth that transcends physical barriers. It's emotional, exhilarating, a dance of souls intertwining to create harmony. A thrill coursed through me at her words. Sounds intense, I replied, wondering how this experience could relate to us. As the storm continued to rage outside, it became clear that the shelter we sought was not only from the elements, but also from our pasts. The electric tension between us intensified as if our very souls were igniting beneath the weight of the storm. Dia pulled back slightly, her eyes locked onto mine, and I realized we were on the precipice of something monumental. Something beautiful was about to unfold, a union of two separate worlds seeking refuge within each other. The storm had consumed the night, wrapping us in a cocoon of tension and intrigue. As we sat close to the flickering fire, the sound of rain battering the walls acted as a perfect backdrop for our growing connection. Dia watched me with an intensity that both thrilled and unnerved me. What's it like on your planet? I asked, eager to keep the conversation flowing and drawn to her otherworldly stories. She took a deep breath, her vibrant skin shifting hues subtly in the firelight. It's far different from Earth. Our environment is balanced. Our society communes in harmony. We celebrate connection. Emotions are shared openly. We thrive in unity. I furrowed my brow, intrigued yet skeptical. Unity? So you don't have conflicts? No wars or arguments? Conflicts exist, but they are resolved through understanding and a more profound connection, she explained, her voice soothing yet firm. We have rituals to harmonize our energies, to bring us back together. When a disagreement arises, we share our feelings openly, allowing our emotions to intertwine and heal. That sounds ideal, I responded, envious of the world she described. But how do you avoid emotional pain? She tilted her head, considering my question. Pain is part of life, Adrian. We do not avoid it, but embrace it, learning from the hurt to strengthen our bonds. It's a process, a dance of vulnerability. I chuckled. Sounds like one hell of a dance. Here, we tend to build walls instead of bridges. It's easier that way. Is it? Dia's voice held a challenge. Is it truly easier to be alone and carry your burdens, or to risk vulnerability and connect with others? To share your pain and allow someone to help carry it? Her words struck deep. I felt exposed, yet oddly invigorated by her insight. You make it sound simple, but emotions aren't easy for me. I've seen the darker sides, loss, betrayal. They leave scars. I understand. Scars tell a story, she said gently, her eyes softening. But perhaps you can find healing through connection. The universe connects us in ways we don't realize. She reached over, placing her hand on mine. A jolt of energy surged between us, startling me. My heart raced, not just from the physical touch, but the warmth that radiated from her. It felt like a bridge forming between us, one I never anticipated. As the fire crackled, I felt compelled to share more of my world. People here can be cold too. We hide behind our screens, our technology. Real connections seem harder to find. Dia nodded, her gaze steady. Our technology is integrated with emotion. There's no separation. Devices enhance connections instead of replacing them. Perhaps you need to rediscover how to connect. Maybe I've forgotten how, I admitted, my voice dropping to almost a whisper. I've buried myself in solitude, afraid to reach out. Then let me help you, she said earnestly. Trust that vulnerability can bring you closer, not only to me, but to your own self. Her offer hung in the air, heavy with promise. Could I truly allow myself to trust someone again? The fear of opening wounds clashed with the longing for connection that simmered within me. I'd like to, I finally confessed, but it's a daunting leap. And I'm here with you, she reassured me, her hand still resting atop mine. Together we will navigate this. In that moment, the storm outside felt less imposing. The wind howled less ferociously, the rain softened. We were cocooned not just from the weather, but from our insecurities, wrapped in the warmth of burgeoning understanding. Dia's eyes sparkled like stars above earth, revealing a depth I longed to explore. Shall we share rituals from each other's worlds? She suggested, her excitement contagious. I couldn't resist a grin. Like what? Tell me how you experience emotion. I can share a simple exercise from my world, a way to open yourselves to vulnerability, she proposed. All right, I'm all in, I said, my confidence building. The curiosity sparked a flame of enthusiasm inside me. First, let's close our eyes, Dia instructed gently. Feel your heart, the rhythm, the pulse. Picture it as a glowing orb, pulsating with light. I obeyed, closing my eyes, feeling the steady beat of my heart. The darkness behind my eyelids invited me to dig deeper. Now imagine that the light grows, filling your entire body, she continued, her voice soothing like a gentle breeze. With each breath, seek the emotions you've buried. Allow them to rise, fear, longing, even joy. My breath caught, and images flooded my mind. The laughter of friends, the warmth of love, and the isolation of grief. I felt raw yet safe, the weight of emotions becoming tangible. Now, when you're ready, Dia whispered, release them. Share with me just one feeling. Open up to me. I hesitated, resisting the urge to retreat, but there was something in her unwavering gaze that urged me forward. I miss connection. I miss laughter and sharing, being part of something bigger. Her grip tightened on my hand, the energy between us swirling. You've taken a brave step, Adrian. Let me share something in return. I opened my eyes to meet her gaze, the depths of her purple irises swirling with a vibrant light. She leaned closer, her warmth enveloping me like a blanket. I feel hope, immense hope, hope that we can find warmth in each other's hearts. As our eyes locked, a promise lingered in the air, one that sensed our willingness to dive deeper into this extraordinary connection forged against the backdrop of the storm. The deep connection that blossomed between us felt new and exhilarating, yet fraught with uncertainty. Dia's revelation of her feelings ignited a fire within me, and I sensed her energy pulsating in response, a rhythm of vulnerability and trust. As we unclasped hands, the reality of our situation hit me. We were still two beings from disparate worlds, yet somehow gathered together in this intimate space, sharing more than just shelter from the storm. What do we do now? I asked, my curiosity piqued. Dia's face lit up. Now we explore more rituals. It is through sharing that we truly connect. Would you like to learn a dance from my culture? It's how my people celebrate unity. A dance? I echoed, the word hanging in the air. The idea both thrilled and terrified me. I'm not much of a dancer. You don't need to be, she exclaimed with enthusiasm. It's not about perfection. It's about feeling the energy flow between us and celebrating our connection. Intrigued, I nodded. Okay, I'm willing to give it a shot. Great. First, I'll show you a simple exercise to awaken the energy, Dia instructed with a mischievous twinkle in her eye. Stand facing me. I obliged, positioning myself directly in front of her, a mix of excitement and nervousness bubbling inside me. What do I do? Close your eyes again and take a deep breath, she guided. Feel the ground beneath you, the energy of the storm outside, and the warmth of the cabin surrounding us. As I obeyed her command, the world around me faded into a serene silence, leaving just the steady rhythm of my heart. Dia's voice became a soothing melody, lulling me into this unfamiliar realm. Now picture us as energy, your essence and mine entwined. Imagine that we're woven together, in perfect harmony, through the strands of the universe. Can you feel that? She asked. Yes, it's coming, I breathed, allowing that visualization to resonate. Perfect. Now let's share movement, she said, opening her eyes and guiding me to an open space in the cabin. The fire crackled behind us as she floated gracefully into position. Just follow my lead. With a gentle sway, Dia began to move, her body gliding with an effortless fluidity that entranced me. Her movements were not rigid but free, full of passion and light, like the vibrant colors of her skin. I watched, mesmerized by how she lost herself in each motion. Now you, she urged, encouraging me to mimic her. My initial hesitance was quickly overtaken by a willingness to let go. I stepped forward, attempting to keep pace while feeling utterly clumsy. Dia giggled, her laughter ringing like bells in the night, and I couldn't help but laugh along. Let yourself become lost in the flow. It doesn't matter how it looks, just engage with me. I closed my eyes again, focused on the energy between us. Slowly, I began to mirror her, swaying, twirling, dancing like the storm outside. Each move felt less rigid as I found the exhilaration of letting go and embracing the rhythm of the moment. There, you're connecting, Dia said, her face bright with joy. Feel the atmosphere surge. The energies are intertwining. As I danced with Dia, the boundaries between us blurred. I could feel her energy weaving with mine, a palpable force that elevated every spark of emotion I had uncovered. It was exhilarating, and I felt lighter than air. Her movements gradually shifted from playful to intimate, the atmosphere thickening with the magic of our shared experience. It was no longer just a dance. It was exploration, each spin and stretch an invitation to share our souls. Then, without warning, Dia closed the gap between us, her body pressed against mine. The warm glow of the fire illuminated the depths in her eyes, and I could sense her anticipation. The entire world outside faded as we moved, entranced by the intensity of our connection. Let it flow, she whispered, her breath warm against my ear. In that moment, I surrendered any remaining doubt. I wrapped my arms around her waist, drawing her closer, our movements synchronizing in ways I hadn't thought possible. The rhythm of our hearts beat in unison, the storm's howling becoming a distant memory. Every push and pull of our bodies ignited fires of passion. The dance felt like an ancient ritual, one that transcended languages and worlds, a celebration of two souls drawing together, intertwining against the backdrop of uncertainty. As the dance culminated in a slow, delicate turn, Dia pressed her forehead against mine. "This is just the beginning," she murmured, her breath mingling with mine, weaving a tapestry of sensations. I swallowed, wholly captivated by her. "What do you mean?" "Every dance tells a story," she explained, her eyes glowing with emotion. "Ours is just beginning, Adrian. Together, we will learn and explore all that we can be." Before I could respond, a sudden clap of thunder shook the cabin, a reminder of the storm raging outside. Yet inside, the warmth of our connection enveloped us, forging a formidable barrier against any external chaos. The moment my forehead touched Dia's, time seemed to suspend. The world outside faded to a distant roar, replaced by the electricity crackling between us. The bond we had forged through connection and dance felt powerful, urging me to explore the depths of this alien intimacy. "I'm not sure what to expect," I confessed, my voice barely above a whisper. "I've never really allowed anyone in like this." Her expression softened, understanding in her gaze. "Mating is a sacred ritual, Adrian. It's not just a physical union. It's the merging of souls, emotions, and energies. Here, amongst the storm, our connection has already begun a dance of its own." "Mating?" I repeated, feeling the weight of the word. It stirred something primal within me, igniting my curiosity and trepidation. "Yes," she said, her voice steady. "In my world, mating is an expression of unity, a celebration of what we share. It's an act that draws us together on every level, intellectual, emotional, and physical." I leaned back slightly, studying her. "What does it involve for you? How do we connect in that way?" "Each species experiences mating differently." Dia took a deep breath, gathering her thoughts. "For us, it begins with energy, an intertwining of our essences that allows us to understand one another deeply. When this connection is nurtured, physical intimacy becomes a natural extension." My heart raced as I processed her words. "You mean?" "Mating is about embracing vulnerability," she clarified, her eyes locked onto mine with unwavering intensity. "It's about trust. It's about shedding our defenses to become one." As she spoke, I could feel her energy flowing through the air, wrapping around me like a warm embrace. The concept of mating felt both tantalizing and frightening, a doorway to an experience I had never considered, but with Dia, everything felt different. "Adrian," she continued, "I'm not asking for anything you're not ready for. But if you choose to, we can take this exploration further. It can be electrifying, a true melding of our beings." "Yes," I breathed, the word escaping my lips without hesitation. The thought of connecting with her at such a profound level called to something deep within me, and I felt a surge of courage. "Let's explore this ritual together," I said, catching the flicker of excitement in her eyes. "I want to understand what it means to mate with you." The tension in the air shifted as Dia stepped closer, closing the distance between our bodies. "Embrace your feelings, Adrian. Allow your heart to lead." In that sacred moment, I let my instincts guide me. I leaned in, brushing my lips against hers, a tentative exploration that ignited fireworks within me. Her warmth washed over me, enveloping everything I had resisted throughout my life. Dia responded with equal fervor, her hands cradling my face, deepening the kiss. The taste of her lips was intoxicating, a blend of sweetness and something entirely otherworldly. My mind swirled with sensations, each kiss waking dormant desires I had buried for far too long. As we pulled apart, panting, our foreheads touched once more, and I could feel our energies intertwining. "Are you ready to share your essence?" she asked softly, prompting me to delve deeper into my heart. I want to share everything with you, I replied, my voice steady. I want to feel what it means to mate. Dia nodded, her expression filled with sincerity. Then let's continue this dance of union, celebrate our connection fully, both spiritually and physically. As she guided me back to the open space of the cabin, my pulse quickened, excitement overtaking any lingering fears. What do we do now? I asked, anticipation thrumming through my veins. First, we must create an environment that honors our union, she explained, her voice a soothing cadence amidst my pulsing heartbeat. Together, we will set the mood, a combination of energy and emotion. Dia fetched candles, their scents fragrant and warm, and we lit them, placing them in a circle around us. The flickering flames cast a golden glow, illuminating the shadows that danced along the walls. Now we breathe together to synchronize our energies, she instructed. I followed her lead, sitting cross-legged as she mirrored my movements. Inhale, she whispered, and allow the warmth to wash over us. Feel the energy rising like a wave. As we breathed in unison, I could sense my anxieties ebbing away, replaced with an overwhelming surge of connection. Dia's essence felt tethered to my own, a current of warmth flowing between us, pulling us closer still. Now let us share our fears and desires, she encouraged, her gaze unwavering. What do you wish to express? My heart raced as I opened my mouth to speak. I desire connection, the ability to truly belong again. I want to understand and feel everything. I share that desire, she replied, her voice resonating with sincerity. Let's shed our past together and open ourselves fully. With that, we leaned closer, encouraging one another to take the next step into vulnerability. The air around us shimmered with possibility as we exchanged whispers of uncertainty and hope, transforming the space into a sanctuary of trust. In that sacred threshold, as raw emotion hung between us, I could feel the ground beneath us shift, a shared journey transforming into something monumental. I reached for Dia's hand, intertwining our fingers, feeling the heat radiate between us like a promise. We're ready, I said firmly. Let's explore our mating, to fully embrace this bond. Dia nodded, and with her guidance, we moved into position. Surrounded by candlelight, the world outside melted away, leaving only the fire of our connection. Stars may have been hidden behind the storm clouds, but within this cabin, an entire galaxy awaited our exploration, a symphony of shared hearts building toward the crescendo of unity. With our energies intertwined, we moved fluidly together, anchored in the warm glow of the candles as we prepared to explore the sacred art of mating. I took a deep breath, feeling the anticipation build between us like an electric charge. Trust in our connection, Dia whispered, her voice a soft caress against my skin. Let our energies merge as we lose ourselves in the dance of our union. The air vibrated with her words, pulsing with intensity. As we leaned closer, I felt her warmth radiate, igniting the fire within me. Our mouths came together again, kisses deepening, an exploration of tastes, sensations, and emotions so intertwined that it consumed us completely. Our bodies pressed together, and I felt the rhythm of her heart echoing within my own. With each gentle caress, I surrendered to her, allowing my soul to intertwine with hers in a way I had never imagined possible. The barriers I had built over the years began to crumble, replaced by this profound unity. Our movements grew more passionate, more urgent, wrapped in the firelight's embrace. The boundaries of our beings blurred as we honored the sacred ritual of mating, not just physically but spiritually. I felt her energy intertwining with mine, igniting a desire that pulsed like a heartbeat. Feel me, Adrian, Dia murmured, and I nodded, lost in the depths of her gaze. Connect with me beyond this world. And just like that, we transcended the physical realm. I felt our energies swirling around us, colors colliding, emotions dancing. I was enveloped in her essence, and she in mine. In that moment, we became more than just Adrian and Dia. We became a singular force, two souls united beyond the constraints of our worlds. It was a cosmic experience, laughter, tears, and unrestrained joy intermingling as we celebrated the ritual of mating. As our bodies moved with primal grace, I felt an explosion of emotions, healing, acceptance, and love, colliding like stars being born in the vastness of the universe. The room around us buzzed, the candles flickering as if in response to the energies we were sharing. I pressed my forehead to hers, feeling the warmth pulse through us, realizing that this was not just desire. It was the merging of who we were at our core. In that sacred moment, we found clarity. Our journey together had only just begun. This union was a bridge between our worlds, a testament to the connection forged in a storm that had brought us together against all odds. With a final surge of energy, we reached our zenith, and the cabin exploded in light, brilliance spilling into the chaos outside as the storm began to subside. The connection we established would echo for eternity, filling the air with clarity and the beautiful aftermath of our joining. As the storm cleared and dawn broke, the first light of day crept through the windows. The promise of new beginnings mirrored in our hearts. There lay an undeniable bond between us, something that transcended time and space. "We did it," I said, breathless yet fulfilled, gazing into her eyes. Dia smiled, the warmth enveloping us once more. "Yes, we created a new star within the universe, a connection that will last beyond this moment." In that instant, I knew this was not just a singular encounter. With Dia, I had found a connection that could weather any storm, the bond of two disparate lives, now forever entwined. As she nestled into my side, the world felt alive, full of unlimited possibilities. Together, we would navigate the joys and challenges that lay ahead, exploring both Earth and the vastness of the cosmos. And with that, I held her close, ready to embrace whatever adventures awaited us. Two beings united by the dance of life, love, and the sacred art of mating. Weeks passed, and my life transformed. Dia and I became inseparable, experiences molded and shaped by our newfound understanding and shared history. As we explored the lands of Earth together, drawing connections between both our worlds, I realized that the barriers I had built had shattered. We'd laugh under the stars, often reminiscing about that stormy night, piecing together the fragments of our vibrant story. I found joy in the life surrounding me again, warmth, laughter, love, all flowing effortlessly in the pulsating dance we had created. Dia brought the universe to me, and I, in turn, introduced her to the wonders of the earth. We spoke of futures, of travels, and of a love that transcended our origins. One evening, as the sun dipped low on the horizon, casting a warm glow around us, I turned to her, holding her face tenderly in my hands. "Wherever the universe takes us, I'll always find my way back to you." Her eyes sparkled with the depth of our connection. "And I will always be there, Adrian. Together, we are limitless." And so, as the stars twinkled above, two souls intertwined, embarked on an adventure that would stretch across galaxies, united not just as a human and an alien, but as partners ready to embrace the beauty of each moment their love offers.